I made 320% on one trade in 40 days, and I'm going to show you in this video exactly how I did it. Not only did I share this trade on my Instagram where I have more than 100k followers, but I also shared it on this YouTube channel in multiple videos. Now, this is the trade that I'm talking about. I made 320% on trading BTC, and I traded it all the way from 83 all the way towards 102 using a 3-step easy strategy. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through this strategy. Not only how I took this trade, but also how, for example, Assad took this trade from 620%, or how Mike literally today made 250% on a single trade. Now, when I'm looking at the trading space, I think a lot of people, they overcomplicate trading because they cannot make it easy for themselves. What I do is I made a 3-step hunting process. How you should view the markets is as a deer. What do I mean with this? On the left side here, we can see a deer who is just chilling. So the deer chills and he makes himself ready for the next move. The good thing is by analyzing the markets, we know the favorite spots of the deer. And we know exactly where the deer is going to chill and hang around. Now, we have that phase, but we have the other phase as well. And that is where the deer runs and anything can happen. This is exactly the same when you're looking at the markets. And this is why I divide my markets into ranges, where this is the spot where the deer is chilling, and this is the spot where the deer is running. Now, one of the biggest problems, especially for beginning traders, is they only trade based on emotions most of the time when the deer is running. Now, I want you to ask yourself, when is the hunting easier? Is it easier when the deer is running, or is it easier when the deer is just chilling, hanging around, and he's not moving? Of course, it is when he's not moving. And this is the moment when you actually should pull the trigger. And that is in these kind of moments right here. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly on a live chart how I did this on that trade. So these are the moments when we need to look for the deer. So what is step 1 of the hunting process? Step 1 is to analyze the environment. Where are the potential points where he can run to, and what are the potential obstacles that he might run into? Now, how can we spot this? It's very simple. By creating the right range, we can already see what the upcoming levels is where the price most probably goes to. Especially this is important when we are looking at this stage. When the deer is chilling, we need to see, okay, is the price or is the deer going towards this level, or was there a previous range in this environment here where we can potentially trade the markets to? Now, when we already pre-mapped all of these levels, we make it a bit easier for ourselves to understand the animal and to understand the environment. So analyzing the environment should always be step 1. I'm never entering a trade if the environment wasn't clear. And this is a problem that a lot of people in the beginning stages make. They're just randomly entering a trade based on emotions because they see a deer running or they see the price running, BTC is running, a certain pair is running, and now you think, okay, I need to rush into this trade. This is where the problem is. You should never enter a trade when something is running. We need to do it at the boring moment. Now, when you're looking at the environment, I want you to understand that one of the most important things is that you need to analyze the environment itself. So you need to see, is the price, for example, very much jumping from one level towards another level? So we divide it into 3 points. We have a range high, we have a mid-range, and we have a range low. Now, the question is the price constantly jumping from one level to another? Or are we very slowly heading from here all the way towards here in a slow pace? We need to see this because for every deer, we have a different environment. Now, this brings us to step 2. And step 2 is to analyze the animal and the triggers. So we need to see what are the key traits of the animal and what kind of triggers does the price give us. Now, I want you to understand that every animal will have different triggers when you're looking at it. So for example, a deer might be way slower than a cheetah. When I'm saying this, I'm talking about trading pairs. When I'm looking at BTC, BTC behaves very different than when I'm looking at coins like AVAX or like Solana, for example. they have very different trades. So every time when you're trading a pair, I want you to understand that there will be different trades when you are trading this pair. One goes slower than another, the other one goes faster. One stays longer in the period of the range low than the other one. These are things that you need to get familiar with every coin. And that is why I would always say, when you start trading, just stick to, in the beginning, maximum 4 pairs. And me, who is already trading for 6 years, I still have 4 pairs. That's it, not more. It's just 4 pairs that I'm touching. Why? Because I know that those are my specialities. And I don't want to diversify into 100 tokens. Why? Because I will get distracted. And in my opinion, it's better to be good at 4 than be median or average at 100. So when I'm learning more about this animal, what kind of triggers do I know that this animal has when it goes from one place to another? So for example, when I'm looking at this, is there always a trend line forming? Is there, for example, a potential FIB movement that I can place somewhere? These are things that you need to see for yourself and you need to work with. If you want to know mine, you can always book in a call below and we can hop on a strategy call and see if you fit into my program. Now, when we're taking a look at this, we are heading into step 3. And that is, are we actually going to take the shot? Yes or no? We need to ask ourselves, are there enough triggers for this animal? Some animals require more triggers than the other ones. For example, some are more reliable in price action than the other ones. Besides this, is the environment good? So in what current stage are you at the market? Is it in an uncertain market? Are there a lot of news events, for example? And the most important one, are you good in emotion? Are you trading because you need to have this animal to be able to eat food tonight? Or are you just doing it because you can survive? What I want you to understand is, when you're looking at trading, one of the most important things is that you can do it with ease and that it's not your grocery money. Why? Because the more emotion you evolve in trading, the worse you are going to trade. So I want you to understand that when you're looking at emotions, it needs to be at the exact lows. Why? Because once the emotion is low, we can be way stricter on the triggers. Now, if you want to know more about this strategy, I have a full free school where I explain exactly how to create your own range and all of the basics from range trading. Besides this, I explain exactly my mechanism of making money in this market. It's called Ground Zero. So apply below and then I will see you there. Now, let's jump into the trade that I took that I was talking about in this video. So we are currently in TradingView, and as you guys can see, we can see multiple things here. One of those things is we can see 2 ranges. We have one high here, we have one low here, and we have one mid-range here. This is the other range. We have one low here, we have one high here, and we have one mid-range here. Now what I did is I traded the price from one range into another one. So I traded it basically from one environment into another environment. That my entry place was right here at the mid-range of this previous range. I traded it all the way towards this range right here. And again, I did this all publicly. If you don't believe me, just go into my free school where I literally showed everything when the price was still here, okay? This is something you can't fake. It's a live trade. Now, when you're taking a look at this, one of the most important things for me is that I always enter at the boring stages of the markets. What do I mean with boring? When we're taking a look at this, the price was doing nothing for almost 12 days, okay? And then at one moment, the market went all the way up from my entry to the next range. And that is almost a 11% move in less than 1 day. Okay, so sometimes you need to wait. And this is the beautiful thing about range trading. We are not shooting when the deer is running. We are shooting when it's just hanging around, like we did here. So this is the place where we take the entries. And this is something you need to understand. The problem for most people is they don't have the patience. They are just jumping into the price right here. And they will most probably always miss out on the good profits. Why? Because they don't have the patience. Now, what do I know? Because I already mapped out all of the levels, I knew that when I was looking at this chart, that this would be my end target. I knew, okay, I know this deer, and I know that at one moment he needs to take rest. Where is he going to take rest? that is right here. And this is exactly what I showed in my free school and on my Instagram and on this channel as well, almost everywhere. Where I said I'm not going to do anything because I know this deer. I'm not going to exit the trade early. Why? Because I know that this is his place to hang around. By understanding the ranges this well, I have confidence. I want you to understand that confidence is the only thing you need to be a good trader, okay? You need to have one strategy that you can stick to. For me, it is just having confidence in these kind of trades. So when I'm looking at it, step one, I analyze the environment. In this case, I had two environments, environment one and environment two. Then step two, I'm going to analyze the animal. So I'm going to analyze the price action that I had right here, but also here. Then I would see, okay, we are currently in a massive downtrend and we are breaking it. Then I'm looking for all of the triggers at my mid-range to trade it all the way towards up here. Again, it was a longer trade, but at the end of the day, patience pays. Now, one of the most important things now is that when you are looking at your own strategy, I want you to find clarity. One of the biggest problems for beginning traders is that they are just randomly spraying around. Stop wasting your time. I don't care what kind of strategy you are going to do, but one of the most important things is that you at least have one. Maybe you like mine, maybe you like another, but just stick to one and put the time into it. Again, if you want to learn more about my hunting process, go to the free school or book a call in directly where we are going to see if you are the right fit for my program. Guys, if you like more of these kind of videos about the realistic point of view of a day trader, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.